Yes, guys, yes, it's Conor Day. I don't want to hear it. It's Conor Day, okay? We got to recap some stuff though. You want to talk about storylines and what's going on? Man, it's Conor's season. And there's a lot of moving parts to this. Now, I have to tell you, a lot was made of Conor's demeanor, including by myself, because Conor changed his approach. All right? Conor has always come to a fight angry, passionate. Sometimes he has to manufacture the conflict, but he needs to make sure the conflict is there for whatever reason. But this is his approach. This is a guy who runs with ice in his veins. I hear great athletes like Simone Biles, great athletes like LeBron James often be complimented for the way that they deal with pressure. Quite frankly, Floyd Mayweather deserves to be in that conversation as well. But Conor McGregor also has to be recognized for this. And it takes me back to the night that he fought Eddie Alvarez, first time in New York, first time at Madison Square Garden. He walks out second to take on the champion of the world in Eddie, to unify titles which had never been done in a $17.2 million gate, which had never been done, all-time record, gets into the cage and places his hands behind his back. That was kind of the night where I go, okay, this guy, this is a different competitor here. This is just a different kind of competitor. And there's only one guy that can be as calm, or that I've seen right now in the entire sport, that's as calm and composed and can put things in different places at different times. When am I the entertainer? When am I warming up? When am I walking out? When am I doing media? When am I fighting? Which is Adesanya. It's Adesanya and Conor, but these are big compliments from two of the best in the world. Now, let's break down Conor just a little bit, though, because I felt as though there was more pressure on Conor for this fight than any fight he's ever had. And you could look at him unifying the titles against Eddie. You'd have a good case for a lot of pressure. You could look at him versus Khabib. With the build-up to that, the legal problems, everything that he put onto the line right there. Biggest pay-per-view of all time. Well, that was the biggest. That had to be the most pressure. I hear what you're saying, and you might be right. But I might also be right when I tell you those fights were different because he was fighting for world championships. He was fighting for legacy. There was a lot of things that were going on in those contests, but if you were to lose, you can lose a world championship any day of the week. Nobody's going to look down on you, all right? They're going to look at, oh my goodness, you just fought for a world championship, and it turns out there's one guy on the planet that can get the best of you. Great job. You go fight for a non-world title fight for the first time since 2006. So we're at 4 years. Can we call it that, even if our calendar and the months don't quite line up? This is a remarkable challenge, by the way, in a venue you picked, in an opponent that you wanted, in a weight class, at least weigh-in wise, that you've never weighed before. He's never weighed 170. Highest he's ever been is 168. And yes, we're going to split hairs over 2 pounds, because in the history of fighting, if you ever bet on a fighter that weighs more than he's ever weighed before, you tear the ticket up because you're not going to the pay window that night. He had many, many things against him. Oh, let me give you guys one little gem that you're going to enjoy. So ESPN wanted to get what's called an arrival shot. Now, you guys at home will see that every time. The main event guys come in, bus drops them off, they get out in their own car, whatever it may be. But literally, when they arrive at the arena, put a camera on the guy, called the arrival shot. ESPN could not get it of Conor because Conor wasn't there. So a fight goes on. I'm talking main card fight. I'm talking pay-per-view. Fight comes and goes. Conor's not there. Second fight comes and goes. Conor's not there. A text message comes in, he'll be there within 20 minutes. Now, here's the problem. There's only 5 fights on the main card. 2 are dead, which means there's 2 to go before Conor makes his walk. When Conor gets to the building, guys, first off, he looks like $1 million. He's got to get these clothes off, right? It's not like ripping your t-shirt off and running out there. He's got a suit and it's a 3-piece. A lot of moving parts there. He's then got to get his fight clothes on. He's got to get his hand wraps done. He's got to warm up, I would assume. I suppose that one's optional, but I would assume he'd like to warm up. Oh, by the way, he's got to do a drug test. He's got to have enough in his bladder to fill up a sample cup. And he's now got 40 minutes to get all those things done. And he did. Conor McGregor was in that arena, definitely in no scenario more than an hour. I throw an hour out just to make sure that I'm perfectly right when telling you the story. But much closer to 35 to 40 minutes. Much closer to that. Makes his walk to the ring, deals with all the pressure, gives the fans just enough of the entertainment factor, doesn't hit the billionaire strut, comes over to Donald, his one last time to put some kind of Conor McGregor type fear into Donald and let him know I'm about to stab you in the back, does just the opposite, gives a fist, shows him a sign of respect, and goes to his corner. I mean, I thought that this was really remarkable. And I also think that the Conor post-fight in the locker room with Ariel Helwani was one of his finest pieces of work. The golden rule of Vince McMahon, who is amongst the best promoters out there, considering he can take a product, tell the world it's fake, and sell out an arena doing it. Vince McMahon will always, golden rule number one, give the audience what they want. Don't ever give the audience what they're expecting. So for Conor McGregor to go out and do an 8-minute and 51-second piece with Ariel Helwani that aired live on ESPN, which is what the fans wanted. They wanted to hear from Conor. They wanted to know some very candid things. How are you feeling? What are you thinking? What your plans look like tonight? What'd you think of George Masvidal being in your Versace robe? What'd you think of Kamaru Usman sitting there, looking at you, wondering if he was next? Conor just went through it and he just answered them all. But the not give you what you're expecting part was he stayed very calm. He was a real gentleman. He was a real sport. And he was very authentic. He was just very real. All the way to the buildup where he said, man, there was parts of this I was behaving like a knucklehead. Personal life, my personal business, but I will bring it public. I'm not real happy with who that guy was for a little bit, but that guy's gone. This is who you've got now. You bring me somebody else, I might have a different attitude. I'll be real in the moment with Donald Cerrone. I like him. I respect him. It is what it is. And there was something about that approach that first off was great. Now, I will also fully admit for you, yeah, I like the Conor the Entertainer. I like Conor the Madman a little bit more. But I'm very excited to see him go in and out. I'm very excited to see, are we going to now think we're going to get calm Conor and then he hit somebody over the head with a frying pan? Man, let's see where this all goes. But I did think we at least had a very authentic Conor. And as far as the experiment that he had to go through, which was to approach a match from a calm, competitive standpoint as opposed to a conflicted, angry standpoint, as far as that experiment went, turns out calm Conor's pretty damn good.